Grand rising and priming powerful beings. Shout out to you. It's the Holistic Motivator, and today I'm going to be talking about how to build holistic habits. How to build holistic habits. First, start with why to build holistic habits. Why would you not want to create habits that help you grow in all aspects of your life, help you maintain peace, joy, clarity, productivity, um, financial abundance? Holistic habits are habits that help improve the entirety of your life. They're habits based on spiritual habits and not necessarily just carnal, unconscious habits. When you say I'm going to build habits, it means that you have a certain level of discipline and understanding that your life is your own creation. The types of people who understand that their life is their own creation actively create their life rather than subconsciously suffer it. So keep tapping into this episode of Ed Talks Daily as I talk about how to build holistic habits. Let's go. How to build holistic habits. This podcast is all about growth in all aspects of your life. How do you solidify a healthy mindset, holistic mindset that will lead to healthy body, healthy relationships, in tune spirit, and just financial abundance, just overall a good quality of life. If you want to grow with me as I grow to become the best version of me, keep tapping into this episode of Ed Talks Daily. Let's get it. Shout out to Coach McConnor watching live on Instagram. Listen, if you're listening to this podcast, you can listen to it every single weekday. Sometimes I'm not here. Most days I'm here, 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Tap in on Instagram, the Holistic Motivator. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about holistic habits, y'all. And have you ever found yourself with certain habits that you don't really know where they came from, but it's just like when you find yourself sleeping on your subconscious, your unconscious, you just kind of have these habits, right? When you find yourself just like going through it or going through a tough time, you just have certain habits. Maybe it's a habit of overeating. Maybe it's a habit of going to sleep late. Maybe it's a habit of waking up and literally looking at your screens first thing in the rising. Maybe it's a habit of forgetting to brush your teeth or take a shower, or maybe it's usually something that is when you don't. If life is a fight for what you want, the moment you stop focusing on what you don't want will take over. So the moment you don't have holistic habits is the moment that you start living carnally. And what happens then is you find yourself kind of like drifting. And when you drift on the ocean shore of life, you never know when you're going to end up. So holistic habits have a sense of direction, right? So people who live holistically, they literally have learned to cultivate certain habits that helps them in all aspects of their life. That's why they become so successful. That's why they're able to turn things into gold. Some people, they are not intentional and deliberate about their life. And so they have drift habits. They're habits that happen when they don't choose how they want to happen. They're habits that just go about when they don't make a conscious choice on how they want to live their life. So today I'm going to be talking about building holistic habits, how to construct holistic habits. We already kind of discussed what holistic habits are. Before we can even get to habits is I need you to visualize and feel how your life would feel and look like if you lived in a certain way. Like if you did certain things daily. For some people is I wish I really worked out every day. Maybe that's not okay, let's start over. Some people don't wish they work out every day. Some people wish they were in shape. So a lot of people don't start with the habit, they start with the goal. So let's actually go there. Let's start with the goal of what you want to achieve. Maybe, I wish I had more money in my bank account. I wish I had a six packs. I wish I was in shape. I wish my skin was clear. I wish I was mentally clear. I wish I had positive relationships. Like wishes without habits are simply wishes. Goals with habits are intentional plans. And that's how they get achieved. So I wish we're going to turn it to a goal. Then you're going to say, my goal is to lose weight. My goal is to be mentally clear. My goal is to have positive relationships. My goal is to have an abundant financial situation. And then now I need you to ask yourself, what habits do I need to adopt in order for me to reach my goal? And let's switch that up just a little bit more. What holistic habits do I need to adopt in order to achieve my goal? Now, what is the difference between a holistic habit and just a habit? Well, you could say it's about the same, but no, a holistic habit, what happens is it's not just focused on the end result. It's focused on the person. And as a result of the person, you get the result. That's what a holistic habit does not just say, what do I need to do to get this? A holistic habit says, what type of person do I need to be to achieve this? So when you say my goal is to lose weight, holistic habit doesn't come in one, it comes in bunches. Because then you have to say, then, okay, then I need to create the habit of maybe juicing in the morning. I need to create the habit of maybe intermittent fasting. I need to create the habit of moving throughout the day. So you've then said, what are the sets of habits that I'm going to need to change my life? And then these sets of habits are not for a result, they become for a lifestyle. So the difference between holistic habits and just habits is that I'm not trying to get an end result in my holistic habit. I'm trying to be a certain way, live holistically, the holistic lifestyle in a certain way. Therefore, the result automatically happens. It's different. Let me tell you something. What if you didn't even have habits for goals? You had habits for the sake of those habits, for the sake of that's what your standard are. That's what you fight for. Imagine how your life would look like if you did things not to get something, but just to be a type of person. So if you became the type of person that no longer ate fast food, a drift habit, to a type of person that literally went to the farmer's market every weekend and bought some fresh foods and then thought about what you were going to eat and how it's going to feed you and what you need in this season, and you went out and did that. You had the habit of going to the farmer's market. You had the habit of coming home and being intentional about what's in your cabinet. You had the habit of literally thinking about what's in your food when you buy them. Those holistic habits become clusters of habits that automatically get you that clear skin, that gets you energy. So what I'm saying is, when you have holistic habits, you don't need to have a habit for a result. You have a bunch of habits that literally will yield so many results of the same. Let me tell you something. I found out the root of success is how you organize your habits. So somebody says, Ed wakes up early, Ed do this, Ed do that, I rise in prime, I share my gift, right? And I've created systems and structures. So all of these things are not only creating something for myself, but I'm creating something in myself, which means I got to live up to my standards. In addition to, so this is the same things I do to build my business is keeping me healthy. The same thing that I do to communicate with others is helping me stay in a good emotional state. The very same, look, when you have holistic habits, you don't need a habit for a thing. You have a set of habits that affects everything. Everything affects everything else. Keep this thing in your mind. A person who thinks linear, a person who thinks result-based says, what do I need to do to get that? That's linear thinking. What do I need to do to get that? A person who has a holistic paradigms, who do I need to be to have all of that? It's just two different mentality. Imagine if you had so now somebody says, should I really look, you're going to start with standard. I kept, one of the major themes of November, the end of October was like, you got to fight for your standards. But how can you fight for something you cannot have? A man or woman cannot hit a target you did not set. So a standard is a target. A standard is a values. So you got to look, before you create holistic habits, you got to have holistic values. You got to have holistic standards. So somebody says, wow, I want more mental clarity. So I'm going to change my fluoride toothpaste to natural toothpaste. Wow, I don't want to get chemicals in my skin. I'm going to change no, that's too linear. That's too transactional. But what if you said, I don't accept chemicals. I don't accept things that I know will diminish my power. Everything that you get on the other side of it, you're going to make holistic shifts. So you buy natural soap. You buy fluoride free toothpaste. That then affects something else. Everything affects everything else. What if you said, one of my standards is I realize the ramifications of eating meat every day. Maybe right now I'm not going to be a vegetarian because there's a process. It's some of you may say I'm ready to be a vegetarian. Some of you maybe say I'm ready to be a vegan. Somebody may say I'm ready to be plant-based. Everybody has their own starting point. Everybody has their own middle end. Everybody has their own standard. So what if you said, oh, I realized after educating myself on such things, education, holistic education, which is what we're doing here, I've discovered that this is actually causing this, and therefore I'm making these shifts to become the type of person that lives this sort of holistic lifestyle. So now you don't even try to be healthy anymore. When you live holistically, you don't try to be healthy. You automatically are healthy based on your holistic habits. Here's what I mean. You say, I can't accept fast food because you have learned that why would I eat a burger that can last months? Isn't things supposed to decompose? So you say, I'm going to eat things that decompose. I'm going to eat living foods. Why would I want to eat a McDonald's burger that won't turn that's like plastic? Once your standard shifts, what you accept for your life shifts. You're like, yo, I've learned that fried foods clog my arteries. Why would I want to eat fried foods every day if I know I'm clogging my arteries and I already have high blood pressure? Like, why would I do that to myself? There is a certain point where you have to educate yourself holistically to make holistic decisions that will transform to holistic habits on the basis of what you accept or don't accept for your life. So what I'm saying is we have to change our mindset and mentality from results based, transactional based, to I'm going to shift my lifestyle by adopting habits. Now, habits can be practices. Habits can be clustered into routines. So somebody says, how do I implement my habits? Well, first decide your values, first decide your standards, then decide what will lead to those. Now, how will you know what habits to adopt? Modeling is one of the major concepts. Some people don't do better because they don't know better. They never really learned about certain habits they can have. Oh, maybe I should have a raw, one of my meals should be raw. They didn't know that by carbonizing your food, you're getting excess, you are actually not getting certain nutrients. So therefore you got to eat certain parts of it raw, and by doing so, somebody might not know by consuming certain foods. So somebody says, yo, I'm what deficient? You know what? I'm deficient of this, but they didn't know that by eating certain foods you can get that, right? I'm anemic. Anemic. So I'm like, I can't even say the word. So somebody says, what do I need to do for that? No, how do you need to live for that? What habits do you need to adopt for that? What juice do you need to drink for that? What vitamins do you need a habit of getting your vitamins? You need a habit of eating more vegetables. There are some grown people out here, grown men, grown women, 30 years old, 25, 27, 28, 41, 54, 50 years old, 60, I don't like vegetables. What? You mean you don't like life? You don't like living? I don't know. You better eat your vegetables. You better go get those greens. You can't, okay, everything on your meat is starch and meat. Come on now. Starch, meat, and fried food. You better go eat your vegetables. Because here's look, the sum accumulation of unconsciousness is disease. Mental disease, physical disease, emotional disease. It's dis-ease. So somebody says, dis-ease may not manifest as a chronic illness right away. No. So somebody says, instead of an apple a day, I love Jim Rohn for this. Look, somebody said an apple a day will keep the doctor away. Somebody says, you know what? No. You know, like a sweet apple a day, caramel apple a day will keep the doctor away. And then that person has caramel apple, or that person has candy every day. Don't you think that, oh, I don't see the ramifications of eating candy right now, but I feel weird. I don't see the chronic. Chronic does not happen when you eat something bad right now. It happens when you eat something bad today, tomorrow, the next day, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4. Chronic is a sum total of unconscious accumulation based on habits that did not serve you. Look, that's why you get sick. You don't get sick overnight. You get sick by eating overnight 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 7 years. So somebody says, what's preventive health care? Preventive health care is understanding that if you adopt holistic habits today and you apply holistic habits tomorrow, and then the next day you're going to stay healthy. This is why I juice. This is why I fast. This is why I fast every season. This is why I take certain herbs. This is why I exercise. This is why I do qigong. This is why I fast. This is why I eat healthy. This is why I do qigong. This is why I affirm. This is why I pray. This is why I do these things, because I've adopted holistic habits, not because I'm sick, but because I want to be healthy. Look, somebody says, why are you fasting? Are you sick? No, I don't want to get sick. That's why I'm fasting. So somebody says, why don't you eat that? Will it kill you today? Will it kill you to eat that right now? Well, it won't kill me, but it's going to kill my standard. It won't kill me, but it's going to kill the mentality that I have about things won't kill you by eating them. Emotions won't kill you by feeling them, but a untamed emotional state long enough becomes cancer. An untamed habit of eating long enough becomes cancerous. Cancerous is literally the consequence of unconsciousness, the consequence of drifting, the consequence of carnal habits, the consequence of not being habitual is sickness. So let's remember this. Accumulation, let's remember this, leads to stagnation. Let's remember this. Leads to inflammation. Let's remember this. Leads to disease. Write this down. I accumulate limiting emotional states because I don't have holistic habits of letting my emotions flow out. Therefore, that accumulation has stagnated in my body as blockages. I accumulated certain foods that clog my arteries. Therefore, that accumulations of sludge in the blood, clogging of the arteries, has become manifested as certain diseases. I accumulated certain habits of not being a good steward of my money. Therefore, the stagnation has become my money's been stuck, so I'm stuck. The accumulation of limiting habits leads to a stuck energy, which leads to inflamed, which means inflammation is heat in the body. Inflammation is the body trying to get rid of toxins. The harder your body has to work to get rid of the toxins that you put in, the more sick you're going to get over time. So somebody says, yo, is inflammation bad? Well, inflammation has a purpose. But why would you want to use a tool of heat to get rid of toxins that you can do without by actually saying, I'm going to keep myself on the hot burner and not eat this stuff in the first place? That's what preventive is. Preventive is I understand the science, so I strategically don't do stuff because I know what happens when I do it. So then what does inflammation lead to? Inflammation now leads to disease manifested in the body in various different ways. This is what Western medicine has been created as. You got this, you got that, you got this, you got that. Before you get this or get that or have this or got that, you actually just had certain habits that didn't serve you. So you're like, whoa, it starts from my mindset, it starts from my paradigm, then it leads to my habits, and all of these are ramifications of my habits. Wow, I've been suppressing certain emotional states, and that has led to this and led to that and led to that and led to that. So somebody says high blood pressure. Well, why do I have a high blood pressure? Like, I've been eating flour, white animal fat, dairy, fried foods, and a bunch of sugar. It's literally the accumulation of those toxins that lead to the stagnation, that leads to the inflammation, that leads to the disease, which we have then categorized and say, you got this and you got that. No, what you really have is not the disease. You have a mentality disease of what you accept or don't accept from your life. So I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. I'm just saying you can shift your life if you shift your habits. You can transform your health the moment you say, I'm not going to eat my way I'm going to eat my way to live and not eat to It is a different mindset. It's a different mentality. Every single day I come here working on your mindset. The way you set your mind will set the direction of your life. The way you set your mind will set the direction of your health. So building holistic habits understands that a holistic approach means I know that it's not one thing that affects this thing. Everything affects everything else. Everything works together. That's what the word says. Let everything work together for your greater good. Even the past habits that did not serve you should be a basis of what you don't want. Somebody says, let's visualize how we want to feel in 30 days if we adopted these habits. Great. Now let's visualize how you felt the last 30 days when you had drifting habits, when you had carnal habits, when you had unconscious habits, right? I notice a difference between when I carnally live my life, led by the body, when I spiritually live my life, led by the spirit. And I know the difference when I tap into my soul to find out the information, aka the lessons about what works or what don't work. Holistic means I have enough self-reflection to know what works or don't work. And the holistic habits mean I choose what works. I choose what builds and not what destroys. So holistic habits are constructive habits. I have a workshop seminar that says how to build constructive habits. Look, if you want to build constructive habits, you need to fire enough. Look, neurons that fire together wire together. Neurons that fire together wire together. So to build holistic habits, you need to be able to do certain things in clusters enough. That way you create new neural pathways in your brain where you literally change your brain. So somebody says, what do you mean by that, Ed? You can change your brain by having a keystone habit as dictated by Charles Hugg and The Power of Habit. What's a keystone habit? A keystone habit is a habit, and I like to say a pillar habit, a keystone habit, the major holistic habit, whatever you want to call it. It just means it's a major habit that you find out that when I do this consistently, I actually stay true to this, stay true to that, stay true to this. For some people, it's exercise. For some people, it's eating healthy. For some people, it's like, when I go to church every Sunday. For some people, it's when I have a rising routine. For some people, is I don't know what that is for you. But I know there are certain habits, and I know that waking up early is one of them. Waking up early intentionally, positively is one of them. Waking up early, rising and priming your day every single day is one of them. So you're like, how does that look like? So somebody says, how can I change my life? Give me one thing I can take away that's going to transform my life forever. You ready to hear it? Come closer. Come closer, 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 closer. Wake up early and have a holistic rising routine. Wake up early and have a holistic rising routine. That's going to transform your entire life. That's a keystone habit. You're like, why? Because it's going to set the sail. It's going to set the direction. It's going to set the momentum. It's going to set look, what if every day you said, what am I going to do for my health today? What am I going to do for my relationships? How I'm going to keep my finances on point? How am I feeling? Let me release that. Look, what energy from yesterday that I don't want to carry out to today? What habits do I want to be? What's my mindset? How am I going to renew of the spirit? Right? Bruh, if you did that every day, rising and priming, I promise you, you will shift your life into health. You will shift your life into prosperity. You will shift your life into abundance. You will shift your life into a beautiful life. And so somebody says, bruh, okay, cool. How do I do that? Rise and prime. Rise and prime with the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe. Now, there are many other ways. This is not the only way, but it's a major way. It's a major way. So here's what I'm going to recommend. I recommend that if you're watching this right now, that if you've been listening to me for a while and you still not have adopted a lot of holistic habits, and you're like, man, I need to adopt holistic habits, but you're not showing up to Rise and Prime, I just need you to say, I'm going to make an effort today to go to holisticlifestyletribe.com. I'm going to join the tribe, and I'm going to show up on Monday. I'm going to try this Rise and Prime, the holistic motivator, been talking about for the last couple of 2 years. You know what? I'm actually going to wake up at 7 a.m. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to do this for a month. And after a month, if it works for me, I'm just going to do it by myself, or I'm going to keep doing it with the tribe. I just want you to give this thing a chance. Sometimes we don't have the momentum, so we have to build the momentum. And sometimes to build a momentum, you have to find something that you can follow. So this is what I created, just something you can follow. So basically, what does Rise and Prime consist of? You wake up early, you check on yourself so you don't wreck yourself. Check yourself so you don't wreck yourself. And by that I mean you want to be able to see how you're feeling every day by mental health check-in, right? Then we start with powerful affirmation, right? And powerful affirmation means that every single day you are saying some positive words into your life. The power of life and death is in your tongue, so you have to speak life into it. So you say some affirmations. Every single day I'm getting better in every way. You say some affirmation. I am learning to adopt holistic habits so I can live a holistic lifestyle so I stay healthy. Every single day I'm making the choices based on my spirit and not based on my carnal. I am led by the spirit and not the body. In addition to that, we are finding out what's available. Finding out what's available means you're learning. You're learning different ways of being. You're learning how to breathe. You're learning how to move. You're learning how to journal. You're learning how to budget. You're learning every single day you're learning something. Now somebody says, I can't come to Zoom. I can't do it. This could be done by yourself. And then you like, yo, what's the next step? You got to move mindfully. Don't just move, but move mindfully. Mindful movement means you're in touch with your life force energy as you move. Mindful movement means you're not mindlessly moving. You're not just, oh, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing that. You don't even know what you're doing, but you're just doing that. Mindful movement is, I'm actually going to move in a way where I'm moving my chi through my body. I'm actually going to move in a way where I intentionally know what I need and I'm giving myself what I need. That's what mindful movement is about. So that what we do in the tribe is we do holistic mindful movement, which is basically Qigong. And Qigong is learning how to master your life force energy. So through rotational movements, you can get rid of the stress in your shoulder that you're housing. By doing a Qi cups, you learn that. By breathing, you learn self-massage, how to massage your body, how to massage your ears, how to massage your scalp. And then you learn how to breathe, breathing exercises. Then you learn how to move slowly to move your Qi. You learn how to move fast to get rid of stagnant energy. So somebody says, yo, this all sounds great, but I don't know if I can wake up at 7 and do it. Okay, no problem. That's why I got recordings. In the tribe, you don't just have to come to live sessions. You get access to all of this stuff I'm talking about, all to your convenience. What happens with most people is they don't have things at their convenience, so they always have to look for stuff. Like, I need that, I need to go there, I need to go find this person. No, just go somewhere where you can find everything you need. So in the tribe, you'll be able to find so many different aspects. So if somebody says, I need a detox, where do I go? I need to move, where do I go? I need the mindset, where do I go? I need this, where do I go? I put everything in one place. I put everything in one place. HolisticLifestyleTribe.com. Go to HolisticLifestyleTribe.com. Start a free 3-day trial, and I'm going to help teach you how to build holistic habits, holistic routines, and you're going to learn how to build holistic practices. Now you're like, why do I need that, bruh? Listen, everybody that you know who's a healer had a teacher. Everybody who's a healer had somebody to teach them something. And the problem is we don't learn from other people because we just like to passively. We don't like to take responsibility to act. You know what? If I don't really know what to do, then it's not an issue. But once you have given the opportunity to know what to do, then you feel obliged to do it. So now, just because you don't want to do it, you just say, I'm going to stay away from that. And that's an issue. So here's what I want to let you know. Don't make I don't know how to eat healthy an excuse. Don't make I don't know how to fast an excuse. Don't make I don't know how to move and breathe my energy. I'm just anxious. Oh, I'm an anxious person. No, go learn how to breathe the anxiety out. Be like, man, where do I go? Boom, 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 boom. You know, I really like your motivation, Ed. I listen to your podcast. I like your motivation. But then you stressed out and you need what I teach, but you so scared. Get out of your fear. Get in the room and let's grow. I'm serious, man. Because a lot of times we just miss out on opportunities. We miss out on people's gifts. And then boom, they blow up. And then like, oh man, I can't even access this person no more. And it's not that you can't go to anyone else. It's not that you can't go read this book. It's just that find somebody you resonate with and stick with them. Hang out with them, learn from them. And when it's time for you to grow, you grow out of it. You could take some of this stuff and go teach the people you teach. You can bring that to your kids. You could just come and learn a few stuff from me and go, bro, I'm gonna go teach that to my kids. I'm gonna apply that. That's all it is. Look, all I've done in my life is I discovered certain things that help me. So I package all of those things in a system to help other people. And now I help a lot of people. So that I have people fasting every season. Like, man, I never really fasted. Now I know how to do it. It's so seamlessly. I have people like, people have shifted their life because they were consistent. They were consistent and they were willing to learn. They were willing to show up. They were willing to let go of what other people are going to think of me. I'm going to show in the room. They were willing to get over their shyness. They were willing to show up in the room. Most people, they're bystand watchers. They never engage. They don't get in the room. They just bystand. They like, I like this. And it's inspired. They're inspirational fiends, but not action driven. You have to be an action driven person. Don't just get the inspiration. Oh, I'm inspired. But when the action is required, you don't take it. Inspiration without action is delusion. Look, when you're in the spirit, you need to find how to act. Look, there's a law of diminishing intent, and diminishing intent is on the basis of not knowing what to do next. I don't know what to do, so your intent diminishes until you don't do nothing. So what I'm trying to say is you have to be able to understand that sometimes in life, God will send people your way, God will send healers your way, teachers your way to help you along the process. And the reason why they resonate with you is because your spirit can hear them. Look, sometimes your mind hears somebody, your brain hears somebody, your body hears somebody, but if your spirit heals them, trust your spirit. If your soul resonates with them, trust your soul. And what I'm trying to say is my heart is pure. My heart is in the right place. I just want to share my gifts. And as Dana says, what you learn, teach. Words of Maya Angelou. What you get, give. Of course, that's what I'm doing. And I want to give it to you. I want to teach it to you. But you can't get it unless you tap into it. So here's what I say. Go to holisticlifestyletribe.com. Sign up for the tribe. Try your 3-day trial. And if it doesn't work for you, move on with your life. I'm going to love you still. I'm going to give you my podcast episodes for free. You won't have to worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing, okay? There's nothing to lose, everything to gain. But you got to take action. That's my message, and I'm sticking to it. It's the Holistic Motivator. And I want to thank y'all for tapping into this episode of Ed Talks Daily. Remember, you have the unlimited power to build constructive habits, to construct habits that's going to shift your life. But you got to believe that it's possible for you. You got to believe that, if I live holistically, there's going to be a result that's more powerful than the current result I'm getting. Right? And then once you do that, your life will never be the same. So I want to remind you, like I always do, let your light shine. Don't hide it. Don't dim it. Look, look, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. You must save yourself.